Morning, everyone. How are you? I'm hoping you had a nice weekend. God, here we are with this bang situation again. I think I'm getting my hair cut next week. Oh, Lindsay's gonna kill me. Anyways, but I can't stand it. I want a haircut. I'm jealous. A lot of people are getting haircuts because their counties are all opening up and dye jobs and all that, and I am so jealous. So I know it's around the corner. It's around the corner. I hope you had a nice weekend. We certainly did. I'm trying to think what I did yesterday. I did a sew along with two of my friends, and what we do is we just get on Zoom and we just sew. And sometimes we're not talking, and sometimes we are. They're working on French General, and I'm on some book that they have that they're working on this summer. It's delightful. And then I'm working on my little silk things where I do hand stitching on it. And it's a lovely thing to do Sunday afternoon when you just want to chill. Okay. So you guys are continuing to send me pictures. Oh, let me give you an update on Brassica. We have been cutting like mad. We're still waiting for the Jane Sassaman solids. They're supposed to look like hand dyes, and it should have come in Friday, but it was on the truck Friday, so why it didn't get, I don't know. So hopefully we'll get it today. And thanks to Pam Kitty Morning, she is a cutting maniac for us. And then on our end, we are stuffing pens like there's no tomorrow. Suzanne asked today, can I hire somebody else? I'm like, yes. I just want to take a vacation. I know how that feels. I just want to take a vacation. There might be some point here where you guys say, give me a couple days off, but I don't see that coming anytime soon. So you have continued to send me your Sequoia quilt tops and finished quilts and all that, and I so appreciate it. And it makes me really happy to know that we are creating worldwide. So let's take a look at Bonnie's. All right, this was like bam with color. Now, why does that work? Okay, she has that focus fabric that you can see in the vertical strips on each side of the vase, and that's where she pulled her colors from. But more importantly, what's going on is she's working with complementary on opposite sides of a color wheel. And so that is a combination that works every single time. And I see that she got some of that coneflower fabric too. I'm out of mine, so I stole about a quarter yard from my friend Robin, the one I threw under the bus the other day for making that cherry pie. So let's take a look at Maria's. Okay, Maria's, this is a scrap quilt. I mean, I'm looking at these colors here, and she's got everything in it, like a good concoction of soup. And actually, that's what we are going to talk about for the next couple weeks, or scrap quilts. But I want to show you something that I think is so cute or so wonderful that she did. She's been busy, Maria, she has. She took the red work pattern that's for free on thequiltshow.com, and then she put that as her label on the back. I think that's just great. Now, how you get that free pattern, and this is way back in rear view mirror, is you go, it's on the front page, I believe it's still there, and you click it, and then it takes you to another place. You click it one more time, and then you have to scroll down. And that's where people were getting lost. It's not scrolling down. I always tell people, don't scroll. Okay, and then we have Barbara's. And now this is interesting because in a sense, it's opposite the color wheel too. And I love the little birdies that are resting on the berries. And it's all quilted, all bound. You guys are overachievers. Mine is still not whipped down. I just don't like sewing on bindings at all. So let's go look at Carolyn's. Okay, this is Mackinac, the Mackinac collection, and I forget who it was by. I know we sold it. I'm not sure if she bought it from us or not, but man, if you get this thing bound, you're going to be all set for the 4th of July this weekend. Is this happy or what? I just love polka dots, you guys. I just love polka dots. It's just happiness. Okay, and then this is Mary's. And then when I saw this one, it's my instant hit. Okay. My instant hit on this was I wanted to go eat some sherbet ice cream. Those colors reminded me of that. So summer, so fresh. And it just makes it, these just make me happy. You guys, please, please do label them. All right. So today, with the Quilt Show newsletter, they go out 4 times a week or something like that. Mary Kay does a bang up job preparing these with the help of Lilo. But today, this was in your newsletter. We always try and start with a quilt. And this is called Civil War Bride. It's a pattern by Corliss Searcy. And Sandra Pritchard and Marilyn Gore worked on this. And they did some really clever things like, okay, I just love this quilt. I love, love, love this quilt. But if you can find the Civil War guy with the ring that's going to present his bride, it's second row down, fourth over. There's a little Dalmatian right next to him. I just love that when people take patterns and make it their own. I could live with this quilt really, really easily. And that said, right? Okay, there are people that go, I hate applique. I don't like applique. Applique, there are a trillion different ways to get applique. All right. Unlike when you're piecing a traditional block, you use a 1/4 inch seam. That's it. But applique, the sky's the limit on what you can do. And now we're into our master class 2, which is on applique. Applique master class 1. All right. And this is just like a regular show. If you join, you have access to it whenever you want. There seemed to be confusion with the last ones because people, well, what day is it? It's nothing like this. But you look at some of the people in this one, this first one that's coming out, and there's going to be an applique too. You got Becky Goldsmith, Karen K. Buckley, Pat Hawley, Alex Anderson, and Suzanne Marshall. We're taking the scary out of applique for you guys, all right? There will be an applique 2 masterclass that will be in 2 weeks, but these masterclasses are being so well received that I can see this being in our future here and there. It's just little perks and bonuses as we go. When you join, and you have to join to get into the masterclass and all the other shows, okay, right now we have a thing for 6 months for $19.95. You will also get a 25% shopping coupon in the store, a one-time use, all right? But that said, that 25% coupon has some restrictions, and I asked Suzanne about that this morning. The restrictions are if something is already discounted or if something's bundled, like for instance, what we're doing now with Brassica, with the Cafe Mystery Quilt, those bundles are discounted. So you won't get another discount on top of that. But there's a ton of really good stuff in our store. So, and then what happens is you will get it in your email. And you will get your coupon code, and then you will go and apply it, and you can use it kind of within a couple months. I would use it, and there you go. So I just think that to not become a member right now, I can't think of a reason not to become a subscribing member, to tell you the truth. $19.95 for 6 months. Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into scrap quilts. I love scrap quilts, and in essence this here is a scrap quilt, okay? And what we're going to go through are it's different strategies, because there's things you need to think of when you make a scrap quilt, and there's different ways to approach scrap quilts. There's controlled scrap quilts, there's random scrap quilts, there's consideration of the blocks you're going to use, and there's the color wheel, ways to use the wheel, ways to use the fabric that you've got as your color cue giver and all that. But this actually is my favorite lecture, all right? And it's going to be broken up in parts, just like the quilting one was. So what I need to do, okay, and this is where I get confused, the order. I'm going to go to PowerPoint. No, I should have gone here first. I'm going to go to this, and then I'm going to go to my PowerPoint. And my guess is that you can see my screen right now, right? So let me tell you the story behind this. I ran out of room for fabric. Can you even imagine that? Yes, I did. And so I decided to cull my fabric because honestly, even when I'm doing a scrap quilt, I often like to get maybe 10 new pieces of fabric to 20, like maybe third yard cuts, so that even though I'm working with older fabrics, the newer stuff kind of takes over and it gives the quilt a fresher look. So I decided to go through my fabric and I was going to give it away. And Ricky Tim said, "Why in the world would you do that, Alex? Why would you do that? You teach classes on scraps." And I thought, yeah, I do. And at that point, I was teaching at Alden Lane, like 3-day classes. All right. And so what I would do, I got these mover boxes and I cleaned out my scraps according to color. So you can see there, I've got a yellow box, a blue box, a pink box. And then I take these boxes to class and people can shop for free. Now they can't just take and go home with it because I want to have that a vocabulary of cloth, or for the next group, they can take what they need and then they put back. So I guess you're not really, it's a library, okay? But you don't have to return the pieces you used. So I did save them. They're still in my garage, and there you go. So let's talk about fabric collections and the temperature of your fabric collection, not meaning if it's warm, not meaning if it's cool, meaning how healthy is it? I have an extremely healthy collection. And for those of you that don't, it's time to get started. So let's talk about different fabrics that you will find in my collection. These are one of my favorite types of fabrics when it comes to just monochromatic. Now the one, meaning one color, the one on the right hand side is not monochromatic. It's got many colors in it, but I call these sparkle fabrics because rather than a tone on tone, which we'll get to next, there's white on top of it. So that center, that green, which was actually from a collection of mine way back, there's white on top. And it's so much more interesting than if it were just another green. It adds a sparkle, just like the pink on the left-hand side and then the multicolored one on the right. I like these fabrics a lot. And typically, I'll buy about third yards. A quarter yard is too small. If it's something that I just cannot, I just adore beyond measure, I'll maybe get a half yard. Or a border fabric, then I might get a lot more. So, okay, so this is sparkle. These are not so much sparkle. These are what I'd call more tone on tone. There's a little bit of texture to it, but honestly, you guys, if we go back to, I mean, would you rather have, let's see if I can get back here. No, I can't. Okay, would you rather have the green before or the green on the right? Now, here's what you need to know. There are times that I will buy a tone on tone like this. And I'll tell you when. There are color gods out there. Did you people know that? Yes, there are. There are color gods out there determining what colors that we're going to be working with during that season. And this is everything from Home Dec, Target, everything. The little, you go to Michael's and the little pitcher that you're going to pour water out of, it's a color, and they change season to season. And the reason they change season to season is they want you unhappy with what you have. And I'm serious about that. And so if you watch, say, green, it will go through different manifestations. If you look at blue, same thing, and red. So here is what the truth is. It's called color forecasting. Oh shoot, I gotta I gotta upgrade this slide to something that's 2020. But anyways, it's the color gods that determine these are the colors that we will be using that year. And then it just kind of goes through every single thing you purchase, etc. So way back in the day when the Obamas were elected in and Michelle walked down Pennsylvania Avenue in that green suit, I was like, I have not seen that suit before. What is this about? And so I started looking, and then all of a sudden it was the new color, and it was called lemongrass. Now, if I walked into a store at that point and saw that green in a tone on tone, I would grab it. So then now look at this, several whatevers down the road. Yeah, there it is. We have been moved to that green. So I think it's really interesting to keep your eyes peeled. When we were doing my Start Quilting book, third edition or second edition, I said, well, what color am I going to use? What I want to be in the newest color. And John Vitale was the stylist for the cover of the book. He said, go get your newspaper, open up and look at all the ads and look at the color that's predominant. And at that point, it was periwinkle blue. It was so interesting to me that was how it was. Okay, so let's talk. Are you guys seeing all the words on this? I hope not, except assorted florals. So so you've got your tone on tones, you've got your sparkle fabrics, but now let's look at all these florals. The one on the left-hand side is actually a feed sack from maybe the 30s. Somebody mailed me a box of them, and it has a completely different texture, a completely different fiber sort of content. I mean, it is 100% cotton, but... And then the middle one is either Kaif's or Valerie Wells. I can't remember which one. And then the far right one is Alex Anderson's. That was from a collection of mine. All of these can work into a scrap quilt. You don't have to just say stick to all of the 30s repros or stick to all of the Kaif's or stick to all of the traditional florals. In fact, it's more interesting if you do mix them around. I absolutely love stripes, and they have come a long way. In the olden days, they were few and far between, and they were pretty static. But all of these I consider to be lovely, lovely stripes. And I love my stripes for a couple things in particular. They can be a little hard working into a block, to be all honest about that. But I love my stripes for inner borders and for binding. So I always have my eyes peeled for stripes. Now, plaids are kind of like stripes in as much as they're geometric. And remember when we talked about the geometric, in the quilting class, we talked about geometric versus soft curves. Well, I agree with that. And in here, you've got another geometric that will play beautifully against other soft flowing designs, which we'll get to in a moment. These are not hard at all to work into a quilt. And then there's, unlike the stripes, they're a little more challenging in the quilt body, I mean to say. And then you get into the school of, are you going to cut your plaids wonky or are you going to cut them right on? That is a personal decision that I cannot give you any sort of counsel on. Because again, it's just oh shoot, uh-oh. I don't want to be in this PowerPoint. I think I may have just, open recent. There we go. Whew. Hey, I'm surprised I didn't completely freak out there. So as soon as technology goes awry, I freak. Okay, this is my favorite, and it's dots, like I mentioned on the Mackinac Island quilt. Now, the right-hand dots are probably Kaif's, and I probably own every single coloration of them. I adore them. But the center and the left-hand sides, they play as dots also, even though they're not so organized. Dots give a sense of playfulness that you're hard-pressed to get from other fabrics. I adore dots. And I'm going to be hard pressed to not put them into my cave mystery quilt. I'm going to be real hard pressed because I can hear them calling from my closet already. Geometrics can be a little tough to work with, okay? They're great. They add structure, but they can, especially larger the piece, they can be a little tricky. But guess what, folks? I own all of this, all of these. And then novelty fabric. Uh-oh. There we go. Let's do this. I don't know what that slide is. I guess you get what you pay for. So organics and foliages I adore. They have nice movement to them. And what's interesting is these are three starkly different fabrics. You've got, I'd say, something very traditional and lovely on the left-hand side. And then you've got the geometric in the middle. And then you have something really modern on the right-hand side. These will all work perfectly in your scrap quilt. Am I scaring you yet? I hope not. Feathers and paisleys. Okay, so I think the centers is a Kaffe. The right is an Alex Anderson's, and the left, I don't know. But note that on the left and the right, these also could go as sparkle fabrics because you've got the base colors and then you have white on top. I really hope that by me going through these things, it will give you a different perspective as you look at your fabrics. Swirls and twirls. You see, not a lot of these, but you see these. Okay, that center one is by Jennifer Sampu, and it is really old fabric. When I first saw it, I said, Jennifer, this is what's going to be putting your kids through college. When I cull my collection, I hang on to these like crazy because they add movement. They also have sparkle. And if you look at Jennifer's, even the blue one, but more Jennifer's, even the background is kind of textural and has like a light and a medium. The blue has a little bit. The one on the left, the green, is pretty solid, but those swirls are super cool. So these are interesting fabrics. Again, all of these are in my collection. What I like about these particular fabrics are that, let's say the cherries, they go from light to medium to dark. There's a lot of value in that, as well as the corn. Now the kiwi has the same thing going on, but you might look at that and go, what in the world would I want kiwi fabric for? Seriously, you got to be kidding. Well, you have to remember it's not going, oh, you can see the words, but I have to get in here and edit this. This is not acceptable, Alex Anderson. There we go. Is it going away? Oh, I'm going to get in trouble. I need to stop. Okay, I need to stop right here. Okay, let me go back over here. Oh, no. Again, you get what you pay for. I don't know what that is. So let's just ignore all this crud that's going on here, okay? So remember, it's not going to cut up how it really is. And in fact, when I worked with P&B Textiles in the textile department, we actually had 3x5 cards cut out like this. And so if you're kind of new to the sport, you might want to take a cutout like this to the quilt shop and add it on top. The important thing to know is that it can just all go in the same quilt. So please don't judge a book by its cover without thinking how the whole thing can work together. If you kind of go to the center top and down one, where in the world did I get plaid banana fabric? I haven't even a clue, but it's all working together. So what I would like from you, let me see how to get out of this now. I want to go to camera. I'm actually speaking to a guild next week. I got to get my act together, man. So what I want you guys to do is just pull out a box of fabric or pull out a drawer or whatever and sort through it and see what kind of fabrics do you have. Now, some of you, this may be way too scary to do like a rogue scrap quilt. I'll give you other suggestions too, all right? I promise you that. So anyways, John, I'm hoping you're watching, and if there are questions, this is kind of just an intro to the whole thing, to embrace your fabric. This cupboard behind me is filled with fabric as one more. That's all fabric of mine. On the left-hand side, I have things like solids, my 1875 collection repros, my red, white, and blue stuff. On this side, I have things sorted by colors, families, and or like Kaffe has a basket. Batiks have a couple baskets, etc. Size and scale. Okay, thank you, Darlene, for that question. What about size and scale? That Paisley jumped right out. You want to use it all. You just want to use it all. The more, the merrier. Now, that said, our Kaffe mystery quilt, I have made a block. I'm putting them up on my wall. I'm really excited. I did have a block. It didn't work. You have to be able to be willing to throw away a block. It's not the end of the world, all right? You've got to be able to do that. So this is actually what I'm working on today for my for our sampler. Everything's going to be in 6 inches, and I'm not ready to show you what's going on my wall. And John is having a real hard time with the concept of a mystery quilt that I don't know where we're going. But really what it is that it's a mystery because when I start a quilt, I don't know where it's going. Quilts, I never work from patterns. This last time when I redid the Sequoia sampler, that's one of the few patterns I have ever worked from. Somebody wanted to know the red, white, and blue quilt, if there was a pattern for it that I showed Friday. No, there's no pattern. There's not. I work intuitively, and it's why I feel so strongly about having a design wall to be able to put my work up on and play. It's so important to me, okay? So it's the other thing is if Kaffe finds out I'm doing a traditional quilt, he is going to have a heart attack. So let's not tell him what we're doing because he's my friend and I don't want to lose him as a friend. Because what we're doing is extremely counterintuitive to how Kaffe works. And if you don't know who Kaffe Fassett is, Google him and his work will take your breath away. And he works with Liza Lucy. They're a team, they work together, and their work is just over the top. Laura Champin said it's like a blind dear Jane. Yeah. Will the mystery quilt have printable patterns to work with? No. It's really a mystery. You got to figure it out yourself. You need to get your hands on this book. And what I will do, you can see these are the ones I've already made. And you want to see one more? You want to see a couple? I'll show you a couple, but I won't show you how it's going together. Hold on. I'm choosing blocks that I have not necessarily made before, although the star one I have. Isn't that cute? Look at that. Uh-huh. And then this. Wonder if the one's in there that didn't work out. No, it's not in it. I mean, these are so much fun. Oh, I will tell you this. If you are a new quilter, you may want to make some of the blocks from the Sequoia pattern, which we sell on the site for, I think like $12.95 or something like that. I don't know. But what you're going to learn from piecing this, and it's what I am learning. I am really having to step up my work, all right? You're going to learn accurate piecing. You're going to learn pinning. You're going to learn pressing. And the thing about the good news about solids is it's just solids and it's very, very modern. The bad news is that every single discrepancy is going to show, like there. I can live with that, but man, I'd rather have that. Whoop. This one right here, okay? So this is a challenge for me too, all right? So I like those. I'm doing those. Love the Rolling Stone block. Yeah, Catherine, I've never done Rolling Stone before. The size will finish at 6 inches. That's what they'll finish at. I was getting tired the other day and I made one and I kept going, what is the problem? Oh, I looked in the block and I did it at 8 inches. But don't worry, you guys. We're going to go through scraps. We're going to take our time so that we can get things shipped to you. I went and saw the brassica today after Pam cut it. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. So with either cave collection, you cannot go wrong. So John's coming in with notes, buddy.
How do you plan to incorporate the cave?
How do I plan to incorporate the cave? I know how I'm going to do it. Yes, I do. That much I know. So, anyways, here, yeah, John just handed me this. I've already cut into it. Yes, I have. I love this stuff. So, anyways, guys, I enjoy hanging out with you. We'll see you Wednesday. Can you please post the name of the book for us newbies? It's The Quick and Easy Block Tool by C&T. What are you gonna do, John? John will type it into the message bar right now here. And I believe it's $17.95. I use this thing all the time, because then I don't have to think. Yeah, I made this block. Where's that one? And loved it. Did I show that one already? Look at that. Where is it? There it is. So, okay, guys, this is super fun. Pass the word. Let's get quilters sewing all over the world. Let's get it going. Oh, and tomorrow I get my Q20. I hope I show up Wednesday morning. I'm so excited. So, anyways, have a good one. Enjoy the day. I'm going to go and piece this star one that I was showing you. Bye-bye. I'm learning too. I'm learning with you. Bye-bye.